F-Zero 99 was announced and released today. It is I hesitate to call it a totally new game because in a way it kind of feels like a new game mode for F-Zero, just the Super Nintendo one. Because even the courses and everything are pulled from that game.
Are they 1-to-1? I'm guessing they had to be different because the very starting point of a 99 race is
and I guess we'll talk about that a little bit. Obviously, F-Zero 99, it's a battle royale. 99 racers go in, only one will win, and only like 50 will survive to the end. I have died a lot in this game already. But yeah, so it's the courses are pulled directly from the Super Nintendo game, but I like when you first start, like all 99 racers are lined up side by side in this kind of massive funnel that funnels them all into a ramp that launches them into the course. And I think that's a really fun way to like that initial like run through that funnel as everything gets more and more condensed, I think is really fun.
And trying to hit all the boosts.
Yep. Trying to get out into the lead, because like holy crap, being in the middle of that pack is chaotic. I think in a fun way. But I guess so you when we were talking earlier said you had some, I don't remember how you referred to this. It sounded like you weren't 100% in for F-Zero 99.
It is, well, it's like any 99 game. I'll play it for an evening and then think, oh, that was kind of fun, and then never pick it up again and just be sad we don't have another one of those games.
Right.
Which like isn't the case for Tetris or 2D Mario, because we have Tetris Effect, we're gonna have Mario Wonder.
I get what you're saying, and like given a choice, would I rather have a new F-Zero game? Yes. Will I take literally any sign of life from F-Zero after like we just celebrated the 20th anniversary of F-Zero GX. There is a vintage review on our YouTube channel. Check it out. It's got Daniel Bloodworth doing his original voiceover for his review. So, like, obviously I want a new one, but just getting some sort of F-Zero, I like that. So that's exciting. And I do think there are interesting concepts in this. I do wish it was getting, like, an actual release that I could buy. Yeah. Because Mario 35 has me living in fear of the day in, like, a year where this just disappears from the world.
I am happy that we got F-Zero literally anything.
Yeah.
It feels like Federation Force, where it's like, here's this cool multiplayer concept that will be very fun to the people who can see the good in it. But it's like, give me a real game in that series, please.
Right. Just I get what you're saying, where it's been so long that having the thing that comes out be sort of like a spin-off almost. Though I will say, I do think that the F-Zero 99, like that format, it fits very naturally into F-Zero.
Yes.
Like, there isn't anything that's really not normal F-Zero in this. Like, you're kind of just playing, like, even like F-Zero GX was what? I think it was 30 racers. I don't remember how many were in F-Zero X. Like, this concept of having a bunch of racers, and then each lap, the ones below a certain position getting knocked out. And obviously, if your ship gets destroyed, you're knocked out. Like, that gameplay is just normal F-Zero.
No, you're not wrong.
Like, it does just sort of feel like...
It feels like being in the middle of the pack in F-Zero GX always.
It really does. Yeah. And I do like, they have some cool new mechanics in this. One, they changed the boost to work the way it does in the later F-Zero games, and not like it did in the original F-Zero, which I like, because I like the risk-reward of, like, balancing your power versus using the boost. They have this weird thing where when you bump into people, especially, like, certain golden cars, you get points that can then be used to access this like sky road that lets you skip things, which is neat. And overall, I think they do a good job of like it, because I was doing a comparison video that I don't know if that'll be up yet by the time we post this, and switching back and forth between F-Zero 99 and the original F-Zero. They do a good job of mimicking the physics. Like it's not exactly right, but it's very close to right, enough that you can switch back and forth. It's definitely better than either of the Game Boy Advance games. Or any of the three. How many are there? 3. There's one we didn't get. So I do that, like, it plays well, it plays like F-Zero. Yes, I want a new F-Zero, but this format works really well as an F-Zero game. Like, this feels more like F-Zero than Mario 35 felt like Mario, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, the issue is mostly with me, because I'm not super into a competitive game like this. Like, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with it. So
Sure.
for me, it's like I'm gonna probably play until I see all the courses, and then dip out. Maybe do one Grand Prix.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that it exists. The other thing is that I do think it plays better than SNES F-Zero. Maybe it's because like I can see more. Maybe it's because it's like actually 3D versus Mode 7.
Yeah, so the combination of it being in widescreen, so you had all this periphery, and then they also, like, the tracks are the same size, you move at the same speed. We tested, so I'm sure. But, like, the essentially you can see farther down the track. Like, it's almost like the camera's at a lower angle. And so, yeah, you can see stuff coming up way earlier than you could on the Super Nintendo one. It has the effect of making you feel like you're going slower. At least that's the way I feel. And I think I was talking to Joel DeWitt in the NWR Slack, and he said the same thing. Yeah, I do think it makes it easier to just like perceive what's going on in the courses.
It feels better to me.
It does. It feels well, and I think it's just a smoother playing game. Obviously, like a higher resolution. I do like that they're using it almost reminds me of like the NES remix kind of stuff, of using all these old assets but like rearranging stuff in a new way. It's a cool concept for a way to sort of reinvent an old game.
I guess the one final knock I have against it is that for me, F-Zero, as someone who grew up playing GX, is about how like the courses will twist and turn and do all these wild things, and when you play this kind of game, everything feels very, very flat.
Yes.
And there's just no getting around it because of the kind of game that it's emulating.
Right, yeah, F-Zero had a major kind of shift in its courses on the N64. I do get why they chose to use the SNES game as a base from a technical perspective. This is probably a lot easier to work with. I would love to have this as a mode in an F-Zero GX style game, though.
Is Death Race on N64 anything like this?
Kind of. Yeah, Death Race I feel like has more of a focus on actually destroying everybody else's car.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's a similar idea. That's the other thing they added from the later games is the ability to spin your car to attack other people, which is cool. Yeah, I think it's a cool game. I really hope that this is a sign that like there's more F-Zero to come. I do think I'll probably keep playing this. I tend to like games like this, and hopefully it means that F-Zero GX remaster or new game is just around the corner. We'll see. We all have to spend a bunch of money on this so that they know. I think that's how it works, that they need to make more F-Zero.
How long do you give this game before it gets sunsetted?
I'm gonna say, like Switch 2 is coming out, next year? I'm gonna say like a year and a half.
Okay.
I'm gonna say by summer 2025. I guess that's like 2 years. By summer 2025, I think it dies. Whenever the next 99 comes out.
Yeah.
I am surprised that this and Pac-Man 99 are currently coexisting. I also really would like them to bring back Mario 35 at any point now. Maybe we have to wait for Mario 40. That's coming up. This video was made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Did you know that Nintendo World Report is funded directly by fans like you? When you support Nintendo World Report on Patreon, you get immediate access to multiple exclusive podcasts every month, exclusive Discord channels, an early look at select content, and more, all for as little as $1 a month. Check out patreon.com/NWR for all the details.